저는 Bethy입니다. 어서오세요. Okay guys, so today I'm going to be talking about Nigerian folktale versus Korean folktale. Yeah. Okay guys, so before I go crazy, let's get into the video. Okay guys, welcome back. So talking about folktale, Nigerian folktale and Korean folktale. Why am I trying to compare both? I just want to see the one that has the most unbelievable stories. So, folktales are stories that were told to us by our dads, our moms, our grandparents, our great-grandparents. They've been told down the ancestry and all that, blah, blah, blah. Yes, so I am just going to compare both countries' folktale and just see who's more crazy with coming up with stories. So, first story I am going to go with is Nigerian folktale. Let's start with that. Or do we start with Korean folktale? Okay, let's start with Korean folktale. So now, Korean folktale that I'm going to be talking about is the green frog. Now, it is said, the story goes like, a little green frog who lives with his mom, who's a widower. Dad is dead and all that, and he's very stubborn. So he does everything the mom says, otherwise. The mom says do that, he does this. The mom says go left, he goes right. The mom says go up, he goes down, and all that. And he was so stubborn to the mom, right? And everybody around them. So the mom was like, she sensed her death, and then she told the little green frog that I am dying. Now, before she went to meet Little Frog, she decided, she wants to be buried on the mountains. But then she thought to herself, if I tell Little Frog that I want to be buried on the mountain, he's going to do otherwise and probably bury me at the riverbank. So she came with an idea. Why not tell him the opposite and then he'll do the opposite. So she decided to tell Little Frog that if I die, I want you to bury me by the riverbank. Thinking Little Frog will bury her by the mountain instead of, which is like the reverse of everything she says for him to do, and he always does it. So when she died, Little Green Frog was like, oh, my mom is dead. He was grieved about his mom death. And then he thought to himself, why not do something good for once? Why not just follow my mom's instructions for once? And then the instruction had to be burying the mom at the riverbank. Now, he buried the mom at the riverbank, and then he thought to himself, what if the rain comes and then the waves rise up? They're definitely going to destroy my mom's grave, right? So the mighty rain fell, and the one that falls in South Korea, mind you, we have raining season in Nigeria, but what they have there is not raining season. The rain falls during the summer, and it falls 1 day, 2 days, 3 days straight, non-stop. Unlike Nigeria, it rains in the afternoon or it rains in the morning and sometimes keep calm in the afternoon and the evening, but then in Korea it rains. So that's not what I'm talking about. So the mighty rain came and it brought the waves, and the waves came and washed the mom's grave off. And the little green frog started crying, he was wailing, he was angry, and then they say that's why the frog cries every time the rain falls, because it makes him remember what happened to the mom and all that. But then that's the Korean folktale, right? Now talk about Nigerian folktale. I'm going to talk about the tortoise in the sky. So it happened so there's famine in the animal kingdom. All animals are finding it hard to find food. They're getting lean. They're starving and all that. But the birds were living large. Their body were looking fresher. They didn't have any issues. And then the tortoise went to meet the birds. And how do you guys do it? Because all of us were dying of hunger, but you birds, you guys are doing okay, perfectly fine. And then the birds were they know the tortoise for the cunning ways he has, right? And then they're like, no, we can't tell you because you're cunning. But then the tortoise looks for a way to tell them to make them trust him. And then they told him that they have a feast once in a while in the heavens, and only the birds that can fly up there, they're the only ones who can eat the food. So the tortoise begs the birds and please, if you guys can give me one of each of your wings so I can attach to my back and fly up with you guys so I can have a taste of your feast, because I'm hungry. The birds trusting the tortoise, they gave him their wings, and then they told him, okay, before we fly up to the feast, you have to have a ceremonial name. Now, the ceremonial name that the tortoise gave himself was All of You, and said, okay, that's your ceremonial name. All right, let's go. So they flew up to the sky. I don't know how a tortoise is able to fly, even if it attaches wings to itself. They fly up to the sky, and then is it the host now, or whoever who's in charge of the food was like, okay, all this food belongs to all of you. Now tortoise came out and like, oh, I'm all of you, and then he eats all the food that was supposed to be meant for everybody, right? So the birds were angry at him for doing that, being selfish and cunning as the tortoise always is, and then they decided to fly away, and then all of them collected their feathers from the tortoise. So tortoise was left up there with no wings, and definitely he was left on the cloud. So if he moves, he's going to fall and die. So he told one of the birds that, okay, please pass a message to my wife. Tell her to bring all the softest things we have in the house, our mattress, our pillows, our cushions, anything soft. Bring it out so when I jump, I can land on something soft, right? But then the bird went to tell the wife otherwise. Told the wife, bring all, your husband said you should bring all the hard things you have in the house, your wood, your bricks, your concrete, everything, bring it out. He's jumping from the sky. And then the wife brought all the hard stuff they had in the house and kept it on the floor. Now tortoise saw his wife dropping things on the floor and didn't realize they were actually hard things. And then he jumped and fell on the hard things, and he had a crack, like he had so many cracks on his shell. And that is why until today, tortoise is always having a cracked shell. That's the story. I mean, that's where, the story comes from. That's why the tortoise has a cracked shell. Now, that is the Nigerian folktale. Okay, guys, so that's it between Nigerian folktale versus Korean folktale. Which one do you think is more believable? Which one do you think is more not possible? So drop a comment, drop a like, share, and please subscribe. Please, 제발, please subscribe, and then the notification bell, please click on the notification bell so like when I post a new video you can see it and then you can watch it. Okay guys, so that's it for today, and I hope to see you guys next week. Bye.